I'm Shira Hecht-Kohler, Director of Education for 929 English. It is a delight and a deep honor to be able to celebrate with so many of you today as we complete this milestone of learning all of Tanakh together, day after day, chapter after chapter, parak after parak over the past 3.5 years. As we learn the very last parak together and embark upon our siyum, I wanted to share a thought with you and reflect together on an image that for me represents the places that a broad and rich study of Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, can take us. To do that, I want to bring you to a moment several years ago where I found myself in an unlikely place reflecting on the power of texts and the role they play in framing our world. A bit more than 6 years ago, on a spring afternoon in a gallery installation at MassMoCA, the Massachusetts Museum of Contemporary Art, a converted warehouse in North Adams, Massachusetts, an enormous and inspiring place in the Northern Berkshires, I was at an exhibit called Bibliotechophilia. The exhibit explored the medium and ethos of libraries, the way they combine public and private spheres, afford an opportunity for escapism, and serve as warehouses and storehouses, not just for physical books, but also for experiences and knowledge. In one particular work, the artist Jenna Priebe used books deaccessioned from libraries to create an immersive piece consisting of swirling streams of pages jumping from the books themselves, rising into the air, seemingly defying the laws of physics. I stood there looking at the flying pages, moving in all directions, bursting forth into the world, and suddenly and very palpably felt that this piece in many ways embodied what it means to engage holistically with texts, and how one central rooted text, the 929 chapters of Tanakh, bursts forth and animates the world with its beauty, its wonder, its paradoxes, inconsistencies, intricacies, opportunities for reflection, and its mandate, as we are created in the image of God, that we always be creating. Tanakh is the starting point for framing ideals and values and serves as an anchor for Jewish identity for so many. But also, in addition to being an anchor, it is a sail that can be filled with air and take us to all sorts of unknown places. It is a text that emerges and flies into the world and can be used as a point of contact for nearly everything and everyone around us. I view myself, as I am sure many of you learning with us today do as well, as standing in the middle of that matrix of people, of ideas, of values, texts, and experiences, working to connect them in varied and creative ways. The points of access and web of connections are not always obvious or natural, but they're limitless. The study of a parak, a chapter of Tanakh, has the capacity to bring together voices of scholars, rabbinic leaders, artists, intellectuals, musicians, historians, graphic designers, poets, students, novelists, photographers, playwrights, filmmakers, politicians, doctors, bankers, teachers, lawyers, archaeologists, lyricists, university presidents, and kindergarten children, who are all reflecting on the same words. It is a democratized space and a creative space. It is an inspiring space. At times, the idea of walking into the world free of narratives, history, traditions, and expectations feels quite alluring. It embodies Spinoza's ideal, an ideal of unrootedness and a view from nowhere, which in many ways is very freeing. For most people, myself included, however, engaging with the world in that way is not plausible. We need anchoring and framing to view every aspect and detail of our world. Ultimately, learning and teaching are ways to situate that anchor, providing the portal through which to access one's identity and enabling individuals to discover their place in the larger grand narrative of life.